Good morning. Good morning. All right. We are live. Let me go live in these other places. And as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know that you're here. All right. I'm going to pull this up on my phone so I can see better. And as you get here. All right. Here we are. Good morning. Good morning. I've been talking about it. It was unseasonably warm here in Georgia, and it's been gorgeous. Well, this morning it was a little bit chilly. And by this weekend, it's going to be in the 20s at night. So, in the low 20s at that. So, it's going to be very different. And some of you might be feeling all of that stuff now, but it's been like yesterday, it got up in the 70s. Good morning, Carmen. Good morning. And great to have you here. So, I am really excited to share and this morning's affirmation and journal prompt. And I just realized I did not copy and paste it to put it over here in the comments. But we're getting into the Christmas holidays. I can't believe it's just next week, right? It is just crazy. So I was even sharing this morning, I was talking to my sister. Good morning, Jackie. Great to see you. I was just telling my sister this morning that she said something about Christmas is next week. And I said, well, that box of decorations that we have been intending to put outside, I guess we won't even bother. We do have the house decorated inside. Haven't been Christmas shopping at all. It's just like I've been busy and it hasn't been on the top of my mind, and well, haven't done the first Christmas card. So, oh well, it is what it is, right? Give myself a little bit of grace and say it's okay. It's okay. The world will still keep going, right? Good morning, Kimmy. Good morning. All right. So today's affirmation is I am grateful for every opportunity to serve. Sharing my gifts with others brings joy, purpose, and fulfillment to my life. And we talk a lot, especially as entrepreneurs, we are doing some type of service, whether it's we have an actual product that we're selling, if we're network marketing and we've got a product we're selling, or if we're selling a service that we are serving people. And heck, even if you have a 9 to 5 job or whatever the hours are, and you have a task to do, you're serving people, right? But when I'm talking about this, it is, getting yourself out there and letting people know what you do so that you can serve them. But maybe you can serve people in other ways as well. Here about the Viking Carl leaving Vienna. What? Let me see what that says. Here about, the Viking Carl leaving Vienna. Oh, nice, Jackie. Nice. We all wish we were there. I cannot believe that. It sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. You'll have to tell us more about that later. So the thing is that I want us to, as we're getting into the Christmas holidays, we're the giving season, right? But giving is not always gifts. Like I said, I haven't been Christmas shopping and everything yet. But one of the things, like I'm gonna share that I'm gonna do for my mom is she has everything she needs, right? And she's very difficult to purchase for because when she needs something, she just buys it, right? And you may know people like that too. So what I'm going to do for her is I bought a new foot spa. I had one and something happened to it. So anyway, I bought a new one. And so I'm For those that don't know, I'm actually a hairstylist as well. So one of the things that I learned as a hairstylist was how to do pedicures and manicures and all that stuff. And I used to do a lot of them when I first got my license because it was just one of the things that you did to bring in new clients, right? And so I'm going to create a little gift certificate to give her that I will bring my spa tub and all my stuff, and I will come to her house and do a pedicure for her. And then just recently, I did one for my niece because she was needing something. And those that don't know, she's in the group Ginger Venable, and she has muscular dystrophy. So it's not something that she can typically go to the nail salon and get done because you have to get up in those chairs, and it's a very awkward thing, and it's uncomfortable for her. So I did a pedicure for her, and that's where I got the idea that I would do this for my mom. So I'm just asking you to look in your life, where can you be of service as a gift to someone? And, you know, we can all be grateful for every opportunity that we have to serve. Let's see. What does this say? What do you serve? I love sharing with others. Hope after grief. Yes, yes. Beautiful. So do you have a group for that, Jackie? A Facebook group? And there's someone in this in the Stand Up and Stand Out community, Julie. Is it Newman Trainer? I think, but she has a podcast. Done a TED Talk. She has a group, and it's the oh God, what is the name of it? The Gifts of Loss, the Hidden Gifts of Loss, I think is what it is. Thank you, Jackie. But you need to check her out and let us know if you've got a group that you have for Hope After Grief. Let us know, and there may be people that want to be part of that. But I would love to connect you with Julie, and she might really want to have you on her podcast. There's so many things that might be really good for. Okay, all right. Well, if I have a program, Sue and I have a program where we help people with that who are looking to make that happen. And then there's also Stacy Lauren has a really, really cool program that helps you to put people in your group and how to nurture them and how to take care of them. So if you want information on any of that, just let me know, and I'll send it out to you, Jackie. And I might just go ahead and shoot you a message with that information anyway. So it's on the top of my mind, but it's definitely an amazing thing. People definitely need hope after grief. I know I have before, and it is not just grief of loss of someone dying. It's grief of a lot of different things. And so grief's a big deal, right? Thank you, Kimmy. Thank you. So remember, anything that comes after the words I am is ultra powerful. So when you take on ownership of this, I am grateful for every opportunity to serve. And actually, that is a little piece. Let me just take it off my computer. This is something that stays on my computer all the time. Can you see it? And it's a reminder to me that when I ever have a time that I don't want to speak up and tell people what I do because I feel like I'm probably bothering people because, I've said this too often or whatever is going on, I see that. And it reminds me that people that need what you do, people that need what I do or what you do are looking. And if we're not sharing what we do in some capacity, then they're just looking and they have no answers. And so it's thank you, Jackie. So it's part of our task is to let people know what we do so that they have a solution, right? And that's why I love bringing people to this group, the Stand Up and Stand Out community, because it is filled with people from all walks of life, from all over the world, right? And it has such a diverse group of people, but we all have this common thing that we all want to have the confidence and the ability to stand up and stand out in the world. And we encourage one another. And that's why I do the daily affirmations and journal prompts. And I never know what it's going to be about. And this morning I was doing a lot of different things. And it was like, what do I want to talk about this morning? And when I sat down in front of the computer, good morning, Glenn, I saw my card there and I thought, oh, that's what I feel like talking about today. So that's where this came from. So it's important for us to be sharing our gifts with others, bringing joy, purpose, and fulfillment to our lives. But the things that we bring to others is so significant too. And I was telling one of my friends this morning, I went to the store the other day, and in the parking lot was a man, and he appeared to be homeless, but he had an easel up, and he had a canvas, and he was painting, and he had some samples of his paintings down on the side. And it may be the same gentleman, I don't know, but a few years ago, I stopped at a red light. And you know how there's always somebody there panhandling, they're wanting some money and help me, I'm homeless, all these things, right? And we always feel this compulsion to help, or I do anyway. And if I can, I do. The thing that I thought was interesting was he wasn't there doing that. He was there with these beautiful paintings, and I'll have to go. The painting is not on the wall right now because when I moved, I just haven't put it up. But I'll see if I can remember to go downstairs and get it, and I'll share it with you. But it was a beautiful painting. He had several, and he's standing at this red light, right? So while I'm stopped at the red light, he's asking for $20 for these paintings. And I looked in my wallet and I thought, okay, I got $20. I can help out. But it felt like such a wonderful exchange to be able to give him something for his gift and talents, right? I wasn't just handing him money for nothing. Not that handing somebody that can't do that is doing it for nothing, but I felt like the exchange gave him a lot more pride in what he does. I guess that's what I'm saying. Let's see, what does this say? I'm grateful for every opportunity. So glad you shared this. I've been listening to my fellow passengers. Hesitant to say the word grief, the mood and energy drops. So very intentional about listening first before speaking. Yes, yes. And maybe, you're not giving them loss. You're helping them. You're not giving them grief. You're helping them to feel better about the grief. So maybe you could reword it in some way where it's the solution part. And, instead of being a grief counselor, I help people find the joy in life again. I don't know, but just change it up just a little bit and just see. People will ask you questions, and then you can say, that I know people that are in grief, or however you want to do it, but just tell, I help people have hope again. I help people find joy again. So that's just my 2 cents on that, Jackie. So it's when you start with the grief, then it does become something, because people sometimes don't even realize they're in grief because they think grief only comes from when someone dies, but that's not the only place grief comes from. So someone who is depressed, they're in a type of grief. Someone who has lost the joy in the things that they used to do, that's a grief. So it may not be manifesting in their mind as grief, but it's manifesting in their body and their actions as grief. Affirming his artistic giftedness. Yes, I will. Coping with holiday grief. Yes, yes. So maybe you help people to enjoy the holidays when normally they wouldn't, right? So I don't know, just my thoughts. But I'm going to go ahead and grab the journal prompt. And it's a long one, so it'll be, yeah, I knew it was going to be split up, but let me share. So this is your journal prompt today. What are some ways, big or small, you've served others recently? Has anybody got something for that? Has anybody been serving lately? And serving is sharing your gifts and talents with the world. That's serving. And even if you don't have a client from it, you're still serving the people that you come in contact with and talk to, right? Especially if you're offering them some kind of solution. But then serving too is being kind to someone when you're out and about. We don't know what people deal with at all. And like I shared a video not too long ago in the group where someone was really rude and mean and ugly about something, and somebody got anyway, the reason that they were not being compassionate and they were not being kind in whatever it was that they were doing is because they had so much going on that nobody knew about, between deaths and maybe there's a loss of someone, maybe they're in a financial bind and they don't know what the hell to do, and they're just not at the top of their game, right? So when you meet someone and you're kind, regardless of whether they're kind to you, you're serving, right? I love that, because my life journey is serving others. Yes, Carmen. Yes, Carmen. And so we serve in many, many ways, right? There was a time that I belonged to, and I wish I could do it again, but it seems like it's always, I know it sounds like an excuse, but it's a lot further now from where I used to live. To participate in this. There was a philanthropy group that I belonged to for quite a while. And we would, at Thanksgiving, we would feed the homeless. And what we did was, it was the needy, not the homeless. So there was this big kitchen that we would go in, and there was a whole bunch of us, and we would serve, and then people would come through the line. And sometimes it was like a family of like 5 or 6 people getting that meal, and then I did I'm a hairstylist. So one time I did the haircuts for the homeless, and we did this on Christmas Day. I'm remembering right. Yeah, it was on Christmas Day. We went to a place, and it was in downtown Atlanta, and it was a men's thing where we brought donations of clothing and stuff, and we handed out the clothing. And then after that, there was a bunch of barbers and myself, and we went in, and all these men that were homeless at this shelter, that they were able to come in and get haircuts. And so it was very rewarding. And I had my daughter and her her girlfriend with us. And the interesting thing that I pointed out to them when we left was, it had started misting when we were handing out the clothing, right? So some of the clothing was getting wet as we were handing it out. And there was as soon as we opened up, there was big trucks with the bed open, and the people with cars with their trunks open, and we were just handing this stuff out, right? And it was like there was just a swarm of people that needed it. And so then we went and we did in this building, we did the haircuts. And then when we left, you could see that there were these makeshift boxes that people had just started putting up. And so I pointed out to my daughter and her boyfriend, I said, we are leaving here today, and we're going to my sister's house for Christmas. It's warm in the car. We're shielded from the rain. We've got windshield wipers so we can see our path. And we're going to go to my sister's house. We're going to be there with everybody gathering. There's going to be so much food. There's going to be gifts distributed, and it's going to be fun. I said, but I want you to look at all of these boxes that are now out here that were not here when we were out here before. And those are people that do not have that opportunity. So I want you to really appreciate the fact that we have that warm car and then we have a place to go. And it was very heart-wrenching, right? And I really want to do that again. The thing is like I said, this group that I was in at that time, everything they did was in Atlanta or on the south side of Atlanta, and I'm a little further away. And I would love to do something in this area. So maybe I will see if I can find a meetup group now that does that kind of thing. And it's probably too late for me to get in it for Christmas, but who knows? I'll just see what I can find out. But, um, you know, being able to serve in any capacity, whether it's serving someone who's in need or whether it's as far as they're homeless or they're, whatever those circumstances would be, or if it's serving people with your solution. And it's serving is one of our gifts, right? Let's see, what is this one saying? Talking about grief, spoke to my aunt and talked about my childhood, and she finally woke up to realize how messed up about our family is. She did not realize how much I went through. She asked how I survived it all. My answer is God, yes. And then yesterday I spoke to an old acquaintance and they were having marriage issues. So I suggested they work on their 33-year marriage and get past themselves and go all out. I made some suggestions, hoping their marriage gets better. Yes. Going to your sister's for Christmas Eve. Yes. And when you think about it, I mean, most of us, compared to some people, have so much, right? And I mean, we can find people that we have very little compared to them too. But I want to focus on the fact that we are blessed beyond measure, even if things are not exactly where you want, compared to those people that I saw building the little box forts. And when the rain got worse and it was cold too, those boxes were not going to protect them that much, right? So that's all they had. Compared to that, what the hell have we got to complain about, right? And so we can serve those people in some capacity, or all people in some capacity. I just want us to be more aware of how we can serve, whether it's just a kind word, whether it's handing out clothing for the homeless. Like, anybody could probably go to the thrift store, get about, $5, $10 of clothing, warm clothing, and go somewhere where they know some homeless are and hand out the clothing. I mean, there's ways that you can do something, right? You see somebody that's homeless and you give them $1 if that's all you've got, right? And it doesn't always have to be that you're serving only people that are homeless, right? There are so many other ways you can serve. One of the things that I used to do that to me, it was being of service, is, we talk about the law of attraction, right? And so what I would do was I would go to the library and I would take $10 all in one. Sometimes I would take a 5 or whatever, and I would go into the bookstore. And I would go into random sections and I would really focus a little bit on, the self-help book, the law of attraction area. But I would open up a random book and I would stick $1 or I'd stick $5 in the book and I'd put it back on the shelf. Now, I never knew who found that. It could have been a worker. I don't know. It could have been somebody bought this book for someone else and discovered that it was there. But what I wanted to do was to have people realize that sometimes you find something when you're in the right mentality, when you're thinking good thoughts. That's when you're going to pick up that book, and that's when you're going to open it up and there's money in it. And I've done that at the grocery store and with magazines. I've done it with the books, that sometimes the grocery stores will have a little section with the little books, and I'll open up a book and stick one in there and just put it back. And so sometimes we can be serving in some kind of obscure way like that, right? Because that's still serving. Somebody that needed it got it, right? Even if they didn't need it financially, maybe they needed it mentally. So it's not my responsibility to know who got it or how they reacted or anything like that. My responsibility is to give, to serve. And so I do. And I don't do that all the time, but I do it when I think about it and I feel led and inspired to do it. That's when I do it. Such an amazing story. Thank you for your awareness. So good to see others and appreciate every moment. Last time here was with my mom 8 years ago. So this time I'm filled with gratitude for my past and present. Oh, I love that. Great idea, Vicki. That sounds like so much fun. Oh, it is. It is. And like I said, even though I don't know who gets the book, I don't know who finds the money. It could be somebody that's dusting, but I used to, at one point, I would leave a little bit of the dollar hanging out at the top. But then I thought, well, let's just stick it in there somewhere. So kind of in the middle, stuck in there. So people will find it after they've bought the book and they've gotten home and they open it up, And so as I progress, I might do a lot more than $1 or $5. I think one time I did a 10. That's the most I've ever done. But wouldn't it be cool to be in a financial place that you go into the bookstore and you put $100 bills in some different books? Wouldn't it be fun? Thank you for being here, and lots of love to you, Jackie. And I am so excited for that journey that you're on. And like I said, go into the group and let us know what the name of the group is if you've already got it. And if not, I will be sending you some information that would help you with going forward with getting this group really, really going for you. Let me make a note of that. All right. So thank you for being here, Jackie. Safe travels. So back to the journal prompt. What are some ways, big or small, you've served others recently? Now, I just talked about some of mine. And yes, that would be fun, wouldn't it, Kimmy? We'll just have to make that a goal, right? Write down what opportunities you have to make a positive impact and how it makes you feel to serve. Write down what opportunities you have to make a positive impact and how it makes you feel to serve. Because not only do we want to be looking at how we can serve, but how amazing it has us feeling inside. And remember, I said we detach ourselves from the results of our service. So if our service for today is to say hello to someone at the store and be kind, and then they give us a scowl and they look at us like, what the hell are you talking to me for? It was still a service, and it was still exactly what you said you were going to do, regardless of how it's received. And sometimes that's hard because we want to be acknowledged immediately. Oh, thank you, right? We want to be acknowledged. We want to see the smile and the joy and everything because that makes us have more joy, right? But can you find that space where it feels good even if it's not received well, and even if you can't see who receives? Can you get into that place? That's when it will be so glorious. Because what is it that Jesus says? Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. And what that means is don't be looking for someone to praise you for what you're doing. Do it because it is who you are and it's what you do. You serve, right? So once you've written out these things, pick one and create an action step to make it happen. Now we're in December, we're getting close to Christmas, and there's so many ways that we can serve. And as a matter of fact, and sometimes serving is just not what you would really think. But today I received in the mail, or I checked the mail this morning, and we got it yesterday. And it is a coupon for an oil change, which I need to get an oil change, but it was really cool because you could get a free oil change if you brought a gift for Toys for Tots, a new child's gift, unwrapped, unopened, but then I'm going to get the oil change anyway, right? Because you still have to pay the tax and you still have to pay the little fees and stuff, but you get the actual oil change for free. But so I would be in service, even though I'm getting something in return, but I can get this gift. I can spend the money that I would have spent on the oil change for this gift, hand this gift so that they can help someone, right? So it's not always giving money to the homeless. It's not always, talking to your community and serving them. It can be a plethora of things that you do that is service to others, right? And so as you write down all those opportunities that come to mind of how you can serve and how it feels to serve, then you just pick one, just one of them. And today, you create an action step to make it happen. So you don't have to do it today, but if you can, do it. But create an action step, one thing that you can do. Maybe it's you want to help and you can reach out to a community, a church, or you can reach out to one of the charity places. Maybe you can reach out to someone who has a community that you can go in and serve them. It doesn't always have to be this other thing when we talk about service, right? And we're all entrepreneurs. A lot of us have Facebook groups and we do all these things. So maybe today, when you're making this list some of the communities that you could go in and serve and reach out to them. Wouldn't that be cool? And what if between now and January 1st, you were able to serve a lot of different communities with whatever your gift is that you share, right? I'm going to be doing more of that as the month goes on as well, because I want to not only serve, but I want to practice the art of going into the communities and helping with whatever it is that they need, right? Not what I need, but what they need. And so where can you serve? Where can you make a positive impact? So I'm going to go back to the affirmation. And remember, put this on your sticky notes, your index card, the screensaver on your phone, put it anywhere. And I see I've got someone over on Instagram watching. Thank you for being here. And if you want to participate and answer in the comments, you're more than welcome to. And if you're not part of the Stand Up and Stand Out community, which is where this originates from, you're more than welcome to join us. And you just go to VickyPoole.com, VICKIEPOOLE.com, and you'll be prompted with 3 questions. Make sure you answer those questions, and then you will be entered into the group. And there's so much magic that happens in this group. I love it. Before I go back to the affirmation, I want to remind you that next Monday, let's see. Well, first off, Friday at 6 p.m. is the Stand Up and Stand Out party. And then on Monday, instead of at 2 o'clock, our normal time of 2 o'clock for our live, I'm going to have Michelle McCowan Campbell that is going to be there. And it's in the events section. But she's going to help you get in touch with your awesomeness. Perfect time for the holidays. So you can show up as your awesome self. The more awesome you are that you recognize, the more you care for you and the more you can enjoy life. So definitely go and look in the events section and sign up to be part of that so that you will get the reminders and everything about it. So Monday, this upcoming Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern will be the live. So definitely you want to be there because it's going to be Awesome. All right. So back to our affirmation. It is, I am grateful for every opportunity to serve. Every opportunity to serve. Sharing my gifts with others brings joy, purpose, and fulfillment to my life. Like I said, put that on your index cards, the screensaver on your phone, your sticky note, put it on a piece of paper, stick it to your fridge, put it somewhere that you see it. Because this I am statement is very powerful in the fact that you have so many opportunities to serve that you probably don't even realize you're serving at such a capacity, because the things that we do daily can be service to others, and recognize it as the gift that you're giving, right? Sharing my gifts with others brings joy, purpose, and fulfillment to my life. Now, when we're talking about being of service and sharing, that doesn't mean that you can never get paid for your stuff, right? There's service in getting paid as well. So don't think it's only things that no money is exchanged. So remember that. And then we're going to get to our journal prompt. And what I recommend is you write the journal, the date, the affirmation, and the journal prompt on a piece of paper, whether it's in a notebook or a journal, and you go ahead and write this out. So you would write out, what are some ways, big or small, you've served others recently? And then write down what opportunities you have to make a positive impact and how it makes you feel to serve. And pick one and create an action step to make it happen. So you'll write all that out. And then your duty then, your challenge then, or your task then, is to spend a few moments in silence, preferably at least 10. And in that 10 minutes in total silence, just breathing, being present, being you, letting your God voice, letting your intuition, your subconscious mind, just quieting all the chatter so that all of these things that you have at your service can feel your ideas into your mind, into your hands. So that after that time in silence, when you open your eyes and you once again, what are some ways, big or small, you've served others recently? Things that would not have occurred to you prior to the silence will come up, and you write it all down. It doesn't matter. Just write it down. No judgment, right? And then write down what opportunities you have to make a positive impact and how it makes you feel to serve. So what opportunities do you have now to make a positive impact? And how does that make you feel to serve? And then you write down everything that comes up. No judgment. Don't critique it. Just write it down, right? Something may come to you that you think that that's not even serving at all. Write it down anyway. And then once you've got as much written down as your pen is allowing, then you pick one, just one, and then create an action step to make it happen. You will be so surprised at how good it feels once you've done this. Just creating the action step itself is going to make you feel really good. But then you do the action and you do the serve. Oh my goodness. It is the most exhilarating experience to serve. And when you do, right? And you really dive into how amazing it feels to serve, how it feels to do this, then what's going to happen is that God, the universe, is going to bring things that feel as exhilarating as that did into your experience. It can be such a magical thing if you allow it to. You have to be open. And like I said, do not attach any attachment to what you're doing and how it ends up. Because I talked just yesterday about how things don't always show up in the way that we expect. They show up better, even though they may not feel better in the moment. But man, oh man, the things that can transpire when you're open and allowing. So I hope you have a magnificent, magnificent day filled with opportunities to serve that feel good for you and for the others, the recipients, whether they show it or not. So that is my gift for you today, is to serve. And now, let's see where we are on time. All right. Beautiful. So I've got to pop off here now, but it has been glorious to be here with you this morning. I will see you tomorrow again at 9 a.m. Eastern. And there are so many things that are going on right now, and I'm going to be partaking in so much and sharing so much. So just keep watching, because we are heading into 2025 and it is going to be magical. So have a day filled with opportunities to serve, and enjoy the heck out of it. And I will see you tomorrow. Mwah. Love you guys.